Good day, guys. Now let's start today's analysis all the way from the daily time frame. Alright, so on the daily time frame, I want us to focus on the last two candlesticks. You can see how this candlestick is below the low of the previous daily candlestick. You can also see how the high is intact. So right now, what I'm looking at is the reaction of the lows of the previous daily candlestick. If they breach the lows, that means they want to explore this fair value gap lower. You can also here, you can continue lower for the rest of the day. But if they sweep the lows, that means they can target what this imbalance here, which happens to be a bearish fair value gap. So yeah, they can go back to that area. But I'm rooting for the sweeps more than the breach. But since, as I always say, I'm not a market maker, I have to adapt to what the market will do next. If we are going to run it, that means I have to look at something going lower. But if it's a sweep, that would be really, really ideal for me going back into this fair value gap, right? Now let's try and align that to the 1 hour time frame here. So 1 hour time frame is telling us something similar. You can see how we are getting this sharp rejection inside this rejection block. You can see how this particular candlestick came inside this rejection block, and it looks like it wants to yield price to come back into this fair value gap, right? And if they really want to go higher, they would have to invest this fair value gap with some momentum to go to the highs. 50 minutes saying they are investing a 50 minutes bearish fair value gap, so they are turning that into a bullish narrative. So yeah, that's pretty it all. Now, one more thing that supports my claim is a one-sided London session. You can see how the whole of London session has been one-sided, so I'm expecting at least retracement to the 50% range of this particular zone. So that's what I'm looking at. So you can have some buys for today if they really want to sweep that particular daily low. But as I said again, the market can be tricky sometimes. They don't always respect your narrative. So I'm going to be extra cautious and kind of adapt to whatever price action price wants to give me, right? So that's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm looking at for today. That's what I'm looking at. Can you hear me?
Yeah. So I think I'll be looking at some buys, looking at the inversion on the 15 minutes so far. And yeah, the range marked as well to a retracement to 50%, possibly before they are going to move lower.
Alright, that's great. Yo, Dre, what are you looking at? Young boy, Dre.
Pretty much the same though. Some buys. We were pretty one-sided on the landing, so yeah,
Man, part, what are you saying today?
Listen, I see the same narrative as you highlighted. Yeah. So I see buys. Yeah.
Alright, so that's calm, that's calm. Although we are all seeing the same narrative, we are having the same narrative, it doesn't mean that's going to happen, right? You have to be extra cautious now that we don't see the same thing, right? Because the market can be manipulative sometimes. Although you see, this particular week, our narrative has played out the whole week, right? And sometimes it can get into your head. It makes you feel like you are a god or you never take losses, and that's where your pitfall comes. That's where your downfall comes. Immediately you start thinking like that. You start thinking that, oh, my strategy is 100%, which can't be possible. Yeah, that's how they get you. So even if the narrative is looking like they want to do what you want to do, you still have to manage risk. Set your stop loss to break even when they are moving above 13 handles. Like, rules are rules, no matter the condition. Whether we are trading in hard times, we are trading in good times, rules are rules. Right? And that's what has kept me going all these years, to be honest. Because no matter what I'm seeing, whether it's easy or hard, Charlie, I still follow my rules, and that's what saves me. So yeah, that's one lesson. We have 1 minute more, I think a few seconds on this particular candlestick before 9:30. So as I always say, 9:30 will determine my fate. Would they want to continue back up, or they want to go lower. And if they continue back up, I'll be very happy because I basically anticipated the sweep of that particular daily low to go higher. So that would be very nice for me, to be honest. We have a few seconds on the clock. Okay, that's it. We have 9:30 candlestick here. Their region. With this 9:30 candlestick, what do they want to do? Now means I want to see a breach of these particular highs to go higher. There's also a narrative where they can explore before they go. Just being patient, more information. There's a lot of volatility. Normally, if they breach a high like this, I'll be entering straight for it, but this rejection. So yeah, I think I'm going to watch it run. I didn't get an entry on this. It was too fast. I wasn't comfortable entering on a candlestick like this. So let's watch it run. And how many handles have they done? If we are to enter from 9:30 highs, they've done 43. Wow. The market is very volatile. So yeah, the narrative stands, but then I couldn't risk it there. This rejection was very, very misleading. So I'm still being patient. We still have 9:30 looks intact. As I always said, if they don't do what you're expecting them to do, you have every right to just sit out or take read. It's your money, after all. So sometimes when I see people fall straight and fall, man, like they just lack understanding of what trading actually is, right? Yeah, they just lack understanding of what trading actually is. Immediately the market hold your hand to make a decision or makes you feel like you're missing out. Yeah, you've already failed, to be honest. You have to see opportunity and enter yourself. So if I went to FOMO and enter this particular buy setup, do you see how they would have been? They wouldn't have hit my 50-100 target. They would have been at my break even by now. I'm seeing something very nice. They've come into this fair value gap. That's another opportunity to buy. But then the question is, what my stop loss be if they are having deeper retracement? So I'm just going to watch it. We've already had a great week. I'm not trying to force it towards the end of the week. So let's just watch. If it's not an ideal setup for me, I'll just go to the trading, tape reading there. I mean. So yeah, patience actually pays. If I treated this as a bullish fair value gap again, that would be a little bit trouble. But I won't see a reaction of this place. Yeah, you can see the reaction. And for me, I think they should continue here. So today was the tape reading day. I'm not going to execute. That's too fast for my liking. And how many handles have they done from that particular fair value gap again? Yeah, so that's the 15 handles we would have looked at typically. So today was a very, very nice study. We started from the daily time frame, and what were we expecting? We were expecting that daily low to be swept. So if you joined in late, I'm going to do a last recap before we end. So we talked about how price was below this low and what they can do from there. Now, one of two things: they can either breach the lows and continue lower, or sweep it and attack the highs. And I was telling you guys that my best, how do I say, in terms of sentiment, I wanted them to sweep the lows rather than breach the lows, right? So that's exactly what happened. We also talked about the 1 hour time frame, how they were having this rejection in this rejection block. So that's going to signify a buy. And I was telling you that if they really want to buy, they would have to disrespect this bearish fair value gap, which they are doing now. Back to our minutes, and that's exactly what's happening, right? But then I just don't feel comfortable with stop losses like that, right? So today is a day we'll study and use for another day. I hope you guys understood everything that went on here. So our opportunities to buy was first from here, which would have been a break even because they didn't hit the 50 handle mark. Then our second opportunity was when I told you guys I'm expecting a rejection of this high. This could also be a buy, but still, what will my stop loss be? So I didn't take it. So today I studied instead of executed, and I'm very content. So tomorrow is a Friday, right? Tomorrow will be the last day of the week. I'll trade with you guys then, but until then, you guys be safe. I'll see you guys later.